guys, welcome to Lisa Loves. Finally I'm getting around to doing this. I said I would do this a while back. I've been watching all the different entries come in for top 10 Stephen King movies, following the Stephen King tag that we all did, and I've been really enjoying them, so I thought I would add my selection. So top 10 Stephen King movies. I will start at number 10. The one that just creeps in, and probably the ending of this movie is what has placed it in my top 10, is The Mist. Good movie, enjoyable movie, but the ending changes it from a good movie to a great movie. So number 10, The Mist. Number 9, this one is one I think I've only heard mentioned once, and it is one that I really enjoy, Apt Pupil. I just think the acting in this is superb. Ian McKellen is Ian McKellen, isn't it, that's in this one as the sort of Nazi. He plays a really disturbing role, really well acted. So yeah, Apt Pupil comes in at number 9. I'm trying to keep this short because I waffle way too much usually. Number 8 comes in mine and Nick from The Last Shoegazers. Poppin' Cherry when it comes to horror is Silver Bullet. I know it was Nick's first horror movie and it was mine also. I can't remember what age I was, quite young. I think my age would have been in single digits anyway. But yeah, just really soft spot in my heart for that one because it's the first one I ever saw. And I remember really enjoying it when I watched it at that age as well. So yeah, that's number 8, Silver Bullet. Number 7, I'm given to Dolores Claiborne. Now, everyone knows how much I love Misery with Kathy Bates, which will give you a clue, I suppose, as the top of the list. But Dolores Claiborne quite often doesn't get mentioned also, and I think that Kathy Bates' performance in that movie, again, really good, really stunning. Number 6, I've given to The Dead Zone. This is one I also saw at quite a young age. I've always loved Christopher Walken, still love him, and I love the entire idea behind that movie. The scene on the hockey rink always really stands out for me in that one. I'm not going into specific detail in case people haven't seen specific movies here. I'm sure you all have, but The Dead Zone, really enjoy that. That's one of my dad's favourite Stephen King's. He's the reason I started watching horror movies. He's a massive Stephen King fan, and that's The Dead Zone's one of his favourites. Number 5 is Carrie, obviously the original. I watched that again quite young enough that I remember being extremely embarrassed about the intro, and my mum did her thing. Oh, Cathal, for God's sake, fast forward that with the intro. Oh dear, yeah, my mum doesn't like loads of sex and nudity on screen, so that scene got fast forwarded. I just always loved that. I always sympathised with Carrie. I was a bit of a, I suppose, didn't really fit in at school, so yeah, I sort of like completely got where she was coming from, and absolutely hated the people that bullied her throughout that. Number 4 I've given to Stand By Me. In my opinion, the best coming of age story out there. I love everything about that movie as well. It's disturbing, it's funny, it's heartwarming. The scene with the leeches just as horrid. Then the scene with everyone throwing up at the pie eating contest. It's just a really great movie. And Kiefer Sutherland, a really young Kiefer Sutherland, makes an appearance in this. You forget when I first saw that, he didn't appear really young to me because I was quite young. But now, as an older person, you look back at Kiefer Sutherland in roles like that and you realise how young he was and how good he was. So yeah, Stand By Me at number 4. Number 3 goes to Shawshank Redemption. Still one of the most jaw-dropping moments in history with the poster. I'm sure everyone's seen it, I don't need to hold back. I'll not say any more, but the bit with the poster. Yeah, still one of the most jaw-dropping moments in cinema history, and something I love in movies is narration. I don't know if any of you remember The Wonder Years. It was a programme I used to love as a kid, and it's narrated all the way through, over the top. I love that in movies, and I absolutely adore the fact that Morgan Freeman, the voice, just awesome, narrates Shawshank. I just love it. I can just like recall so many different lines from that movie, and I adore the bit where he plays music for the prisoners, and it's just a really, really good movie. And there's really sad, horrible bits in, and really moving bits in it, and just really, really complex story, but just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Number 1 and 2, everyone that knows me will know what these two are. I struggled with the positioning of these, so I've put number 2, The Shining. Love the movie, prefer, like we said in the tag, I do prefer Kubrick's version of this to Stephen King's, even though I know Stephen King isn't a big fan. Just realised it's got quite dark in here. I've shut the windows, but shut the curtains because it was really sunny. Yeah, so I prefer Stephen King's introduction to the character of Jack Torrance, even though he's not Jack. Is he John in the book? He's not messed up until they get to the hotel. The hotel and the influence of the hotel is what makes him how he is, but in the movie, he's messed up to begin with. I prefer the Stephen King introduction and the character of Jack Torrance, but with everything else, I prefer the Kubrick version. And obviously that leaves number 1 as my all-time favourite Stephen King movie, Misery. Everyone knows how much I love that. As someone that used to write an awful lot in the past, never written a book yet. That's my aim, my goal. I've written novellas, I've written short stories, I've written poetry, I've written songs. I've never written a book. I'd love to write a book, but that, I don't know, the subject matter of Paul Sheldon being the author and the reality of it all, the fact it's something that really could happen, that to me is always more horrific than monsters and sci-fi stuff and stuff that's not actually real. Something that's real, and Annie Wilkes is just, there's so many Annie Wilkes out there, I'm sure. People that go to any length to stalk their hero, whoever that may be, and Annie Wilkes takes it that step too far. The music in this, the Liberace in this, again, the score is just perfect. The piano music, it's just, I absolutely adore how the music's put to that movie. The lines, the different layers of Annie Wilkes, the different personas, where she's manic, where she's depressed, then she's over the moon, then she's enraged. Just a performance of Kathy Bates in that movie is just astounding to me. I know it doesn't have as many, standout big things happening as movies like The Shining, but to me the performances in that, it always completely draws me in, pulls me in, and I could watch that movie over and over again. It's probably my most watched movie of all the movies I own. So yeah, Misery, number 1. So that's my little input to the Stephen King top 10. It's the first top 10 I think I've done on here. I'm hoping to probably do top 10s of different categories, like comedy, like horror, different things. And I've really, really enjoyed watching everyone else's, so let's keep it up. We should do top 10s of all different kinds of movies. Now, I know, like, most of you are maybe horror-based, but it's really interesting to find out different types of movies you like. I think it's really, it really says a lot about people. So I'll stop the waffling. That's my top 10. Hope you enjoyed it. Over and out from Lisa Loves.